In today's video, you're going to learn the best exercises to improve your overall health span. So lifespan refers to how many years you're going to live. Health span refers to how many years you will live free of disability or disease. And I will throw in this category also that these exercises are perfect for anyone who wants to minimize the impact a disease is having on your physical abilities. So in this video, we're going to go into what the science says as far as the physical metrics that they believe at best guess today improves your overall health span, and of course a list of exercises to start incorporating into your home exercise routine if one of your goals is to improve your health span. If you're new to this channel, I'm Tara, I'm a neurologic physical therapist, and on this channel we talk about anything and everything related to mobility, health, fitness, and mindset in the context of neurologic injury, with the end goal of empowering you with as many tools as possible to live an overall more active, pain-free life. And with all this said, first let's just go into a little bit of what the scientists believe improves our health span when it comes to physical performance metrics. One that's getting a lot of attention right now is grip strength. Now, before any of you just go out there and just buy a hand exerciser and just think that, working your grip strength all day is going to improve your quality of life, it doesn't exactly work that way, but they have found that there is a correlation between grip strength and overall mobility later in life, cognitive function and memory later in life, decreased falls, and just overall strength. So now, what do some of the scientists believe that why these things are correlated, or grip strength is correlated with all of these kind of health benefits? Well, one is probably the most obvious, is that if someone has strong hands, that probably means they have stronger muscles everywhere else in their body, and so they're probably less likely to fall and potentially a little bit healthier. So it's not saying that they're not saying that if you just work your grip strength, all these things are going to improve. But because they are correlated, they use grip strength as one of the metrics that now they use to predict someone's health span, or how healthy someone is going to be later in life. And therefore, working on grip strength potentially has the ability to improve your overall mobility and physical function as we age. So one area that our exercises are going to address today is grip strength. So how might you measure your grip strength if you're someone who wants to know what your health span might be, or where you fall in relation to other people your age, is with a dynamometer. And I will put a link for that in the description below for some of you who might be a little bit more nerdy and you want to order one from Amazon. They're really not that expensive, and they do come with a chart that will show you what the norms are for your age. So a dynamometer literally is just something that you grip onto and you squeeze it and it measures your grip strength. So I'll put a link for that in the description below. The next kind of metric that we know potentially has some correlation with people living a longer health span is leg strength. So how do we measure leg strength? One test is what we call a 5-time sit to stand. So basically you just sit in a chair that's 17 inches from the ground without armrests, and you go from sitting to standing 5 times as quickly but as safely as possible. You can Google this 5-time sit to stand test to get the exact instructions on how to perform this test, but you will also find, if you Google it, the norms for your age. So what time you should be able to do the 5-time sit to stand test, and that will give you some indication of whether or not you are in the normal range for your age as far as lower body strength. And then 2 other factors that I think are really important that we don't really measure, but I do think they're important, like performance skills that should be incorporated into an exercise program if someone is really focused on improving their health span, is power. So strength is how much force your muscle can pull, or your muscle can pull a bone to move a force. That's strength. So attach a weight to your ankle, sit in a chair, kick that leg out. The more weight you can put on your ankle when you kick your leg out, that is a measure of strength. Now, power is a little bit different. Power is how quickly you can move a force. Now, why is this important? This is important for fall prevention, number one, but also getting up from a chair. So if you don't have a lot of power, maybe you have strength, but you don't have a lot of power, sometimes you can't get all the way up from a chair. But more importantly, if you're falling, you really need power to kind of push yourself back up. Power is probably something that's required more when going upstairs or going up a curb or just jumping. Those are more kind of things that use power versus just strength. And then the other kind of performance feature of muscles that I think is so important that's incorporated into any home exercise program is eccentric control. So I've talked about eccentric control a little bit before in other videos, but eccentric control is that a muscle can lengthen and contract at the same time. We call that eccentric muscle control. So why is this important? Well, when you're falling, eccentric control is what slows you down. When you're walking down a ramp, eccentric control is what prevents you from kind of stumbling. I call it controlled forward falling, when you can't stop, like you just step one foot in front of the other to get down a ramp. And a lot of you do that and you just might not realize it. But if you envision that and you feel like if you were walking down a ramp, you just couldn't stop halfway down, that probably means that you do lack a little bit of eccentric control. But the primary one really is to prevent you from falling. You really do need to be able to have that eccentric control to slow your body down. So that is probably the most important one or feature of a muscle. So what are today's exercises going to focus on? I am all about efficiency. So today we are going to go through exercises where we incorporate all of these things into single exercises. So every exercise we go through, they will cover a range. So regardless of where you're at in the recovery process or where you're at physically or how old you are, you will find an exercise that will meet you where you're at as far as your abilities. But each exercise is going to incorporate grip strength, power, and eccentric control, hopefully. If I'm missing one on there, I'll try and go through as I'm going through the exercises to mention what exactly of those components will be covered in that exercise. And then of course the other one was strength, but all of the exercises are also going to be improving your strength as well. So I hope all that made sense. Now let's go ahead and dive into the exercises. So for this exercise, you can see we're incorporating a little bit of power, maybe not as much eccentric control, although you do require some eccentric control so you don't flop back down in the chair. But we're adding a weight and we're doing a little swing. That's the grip component. So we're working grip strength, we're working power because you want to power up when you come up out of the chair, and we're working eccentric control because you need to control the way down when you descend back into the chair. So again, you can use a dumbbell or you can even use a soup can and just hold a soup can by the top in your hand, and you're just going to swing it down and swing it out. When you come up, sit all the way down in between these. Some of you might have seen like regular kettlebell swings. I like having to sit all the way down because it does require a little bit of a different kind of momentum to get yourself back up out of the chair. And in my opinion, I feel like you almost need more eccentric control so that you don't fall forward. So I do recommend, even though you might have the strength or you might think it's more advanced to do it standing, that you do it standing, going from a chair and then up. And you're just going to swing that kettlebell out in front. So this is another variation, probably not as much grip strength, but it's an excellent exercise, again, working that eccentric control. This is a medicine ball, so this weighs 8 pounds. I will put a link for this in the description below. You guys have seen me use this in other videos. There's a lot that you can do with a medicine ball like this. This is just one of the activities, so I think it's a worthwhile purchase if you have a little home gym set up. But again, you want to power up, throw it up, catch it, sit back down, kind of do that all in one motion. Again, we're working power because you're powering up, we're working that eccentric control, and because this is a little bit heavy, you are working that grip strength a little bit. All right, so for this exercise, again, we're using a dumbbell, and I'll put a link for these in the description below. But you want to try and hold the dumbbell kind of on the end. It's really hard. If you can do it without hooking your fingers underneath the kind of heavy part of the dumbbell, that's a little bit harder for as far as working that grip strength. But you can hold it like this, or you can hold it like this. All of those will incorporate a little bit of grip strength. And then you want to just kind of let yourself fall out to the side and then push yourself back up. So the eccentric control is kind of in the fall, and the pushing back up is kind of the power component that you'll be working. All right, and then you can also do that, go stepping backwards. And again, you kind of just almost want to fall back onto that leg and then push yourself back up. Fall back down, push yourself back up. You can put the dumbbell really in any hand, either hand, or you can put it in both hands. You can put one in each hand. Kind of fall back onto that leg. If you don't feel as confident with your balance, then just step back and forward, right? And then the better you get at it, you can start bending those legs a little bit and getting a little bit lower to the ground. All right, and then back to this gym ball. We're gonna put your legs, or put your leg in a stagger position, and you're just gonna bring it down, toss it up, catch it, bring it down, toss it up, down, toss it up, down, toss it up. All right, so you're getting a little bit of trunk rotation in there, but as you come down, you kind of have to slow yourself down because you do have this weight in your hand. Toss it up, down, toss it up, down, working that leg strength, working that eccentric control, and again, working that grip strength. All right, and then you can do this on the other side, same thing. Again, getting that power component of getting that ball in the air and then catching it on the way down. All right, now for this one, this is a pull-up assist band. And there's quite a bit of resistance on this. So you want something with a little bit of resistance just to make those fingers have to work a little bit more. And then you're gonna go down slow and power up. Down slow, power up. All right, try and keep that chest up if you can a little bit, but you're gonna go down slow, power up, down slow, and power up, down slow, and power back up. And probably one of my favorite exercises at any stage in the rehab recovery process is a step up. You can make it as challenging as you like, as little or as least. There's a lot of variability just by changing the step height. I would just add, to get that grip strength component of it, adding a dumbbell in one hand. And then you're just gonna step up. You can even do a little bit of swing. And then you almost kind of wanna just let yourself fall off the back of the step and kind of control the descent. So you want a little bit, you wanna have to slow yourself down a little bit. So again, just up, and you can even just let that dumbbell swing a little bit. Again, you're working the power on the way up and the eccentric control on the way down. All right, and then here's one for you guys that might just have a little bit more mobility, or you're a little bit higher level. You can do some higher level activities. Is again, holding that dumbbell, coming down slow and doing a little jump. Down slow, little jump, and then switching hands, same thing. Down slow, little jump, down slow, and a little jump. If you wanted to make it a little bit harder, you could switch your legs. So again, holding that dumbbell and switch and switch. Again, the power's on the way up and the eccentric control is on the way down. And then that is it for this video. That's just a few variations. I just really wanted to give you guys an idea of one way that you can take multiple concepts as far as improving your overall health span and really combine them into one exercise to get a little bit more bang for your buck. Other things that you can do are just, try and open jars whenever possible. I just remember growing up and watching my grandmother always like hand jars to my grandfather and never really opening them at all. It's a good challenge to kind of keep those skills as sharp as possible, and that's really working on that grip strength. And then also cleaning and not really relying on our new age technology. Actually sweep and mop your floors. Maybe you have a Roomba, maybe like once a week, instead of letting your Roomba do the work, you actually will sweep your floors. That's working on your grip strength. Maybe rake your leaves every once in a while versus paying someone to do them. That's kind of like a built-in longevity exercise where that does incorporate that grip strength. But anything like that, I know that as we age, or I see it with my patients, that it is just so easy when you have loving family members around you that really just want to make your life easier and are constantly asking to help you and do things for you. But occasionally, if it's safe and it's within your abilities, taking back some of these tasks could be beneficial to your overall health span. But that is it for this video. If you like this video and you like these types of videos and you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so that you'll get notified every time I upload new videos. If you want to get videos throughout the week, head on over to Instagram and follow us over there, where I post 1 to 2 videos, exercise videos every single week, different from the videos that I post here on YouTube. If you want to go a little bit deeper and you want to get your specific questions answered, you can check out our monthly gold membership program, where you will get access to an entire library of exercises that I actually use with my patients that I see in person, as well as access to our monthly lives and access to our private Discord channel. Information for that is in the description below. I enjoyed spending time with you all today, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.